Here's another reason I like the language learning app Babbel. No, I'm not sponsored. I would like to be, but this is just my experience as a language teacher and a linguist, the app that I find the best. So I was learning possessive determiners like my, your, and it says in Portugal, they pretty much always use that with the definite article. So instead of saying meu tio, which is what they would say in Brazil, they would say o meu tio. So to translate that to English, it would be like, instead of saying my uncle, they would say the my uncle. And in Brazil, just like in English, it's more common to leave that out. In fact, in English, we would always leave it out. It would feel incorrect to put it in. But you can use both versions in Portuguese. A prescriptivist person from Portugal might tell you that both versions are not correct and you should say it the way they say it in Portugal, which linguistically is incorrect. If people use both versions, then they're both correct. It also mentions things like this, an alternate way to phrase something. Instead of saying dele or dela, you could say seu or sua. So basically, instead of saying his or her uncle, you could say the uncle of him or the uncle of her. But it's considered old-fashioned and mostly just used in written Portuguese, the seu sua part. In other words, the normal way to say it in Portuguese would be the uncle of her or the uncle of him, instead of saying his uncle or her uncle, specifically for this pronoun. So there's quite a lot of variants, quite different from English. But the app does a great job of descriptively explaining how to use these pronouns and determiners. And I think most language learning apps, even some real life teachers, would not be this descriptive in their approach. And I think that's fantastic.